Hi, I'm Al Adamson, founder and executive director of the Talent Strategy Institute. On the people analytics front, I'm one of the few people who's been a practitioner, a leader within a consulting company, a leader within a technology company, and now as an educator and advisor with the Talent Strategy Institute. It's a great question. I would like to know the answer to. The reason I say that is because we have people analytics, we have talent analytics, we have workforce analytics, we have HR analytics. And the way it's defined is very wide ranging. When I grew up in the space over the past 15, 20 years, it was very clear that people analytics was about studying workforce dynamics, how employees behaved while they were at work. In the early 2000s, it evolved into data aggregation, data visualization, and effectively democratizing not only data, but the ability to analyze that data. And now in 2010 and beyond, certainly over the last several years, we're building these analytical products to help leaders make better decisions quicker, HR business partners be more effective, and also for employees themselves to understand how best to navigate their career, manage workload, and all these things. So it really depends on how an organization defines it and how they set their priorities. And given that definition, given those set of priorities, that's what emerges. Particularly on the talent acquisition side. What has emerged over the past 10 years is, hey, we're now going to create a more cohesive experience for prospective employees, all from becoming prospects to applicants to candidates to being extended an offer to actually being onboarded. And we're going to understand the dynamics that are unfolding. We're going to understand why people do not accept offers. We're going to understand why they drop out of the process at certain times. And that is all predicated on a few things. Number one, designing jobs better and designing the capabilities that are necessary to be successful in those jobs. And that has largely been predicated on understanding data better. And it's also been the case where once that understanding is gained, now how do I assess for that? How do I ask appropriate questions? How do I analyze at different stages of the talent acquisition process, who's going to be appropriate, who's the people that I should focus on. So we have to have discipline in terms of how we hire now. And again, that's predicated on data. And we're at this stage where guessing doesn't have to happen, number one. And number two, it's just way too risky. The short answer is yes. Are many actually doing it? Unfortunately, not yet. And so if I am the CEO of a mid-sized company, say 1,000 to 2,000 employees, I have a small HR department, and their priority is paying people in partnership with finance. It's making sure that the talent acquisition process is in place and that I am rewarding people and evaluating people properly and managing employee relations issues and probably providing basic reporting. That's pretty much the extent of the role. I'm sure there's a few other things that are deemed appropriate on an ongoing basis. But once an organization is getting to a larger size and they're dealing with some constraints to their growth and to their culture, then they have to rethink, okay, how am I going to augment that basic capability with more advanced capability? If I'm getting started, I have to have a clear vision of where I want to go. In other words, the questions that I want or need answered, and also a very clear and frankly honest depiction of what needs to be put in place to get those questions answered on an ongoing basis. I mean, many leaders want it and they hire somebody and they think, okay, now I've paid for this HCM software, I paid for any number of tools, but it doesn't happen by magic. It doesn't happen because you plug something in. It happens because there's underlying work, and unfortunately, many of these groups are understaffed. And they haven't created a very accurate business case for what needs to be in place to deliver on what's being asked of them. You can expect me to be really boring and say a lot of what you've heard already. No, I talk authentically as possible. So I'm not selling anything. I am making it very clear, at least from my perspective, what needs to happen to bring analytics to life in 2017 and beyond. Hi, this is Al Adamson, founder and executive director of the Talent Strategy Institute, and I'm super excited to see you at the People Analytics and Future of Talent Conference in Sydney. It'll be at the Amora Jameson Hotel on October 17th and 18th. Again, super looking forward to seeing you there.